Maisie, Bushka, struggling. There's 0 people watching Maisie, so pretty standard stream for me. Yeah, no, they'll turn up. They'll turn up. Yeah, we're going to kick off. I got the headphones on, so it shouldn't be too loud for me. So we're going to. So they're warning us all now because what's going to happen, guys, is a whole lot of big bada booms are going to be going off here. All the guys around here are putting headphones in, earplugs in. We're going to hear the noise from the tanks and the guns, and it's loud. And we're very close. Meadsy's got his headphones in, earplugs in. Now, there's a couple of big guns coming out of the vehicle park here. So what they're going to do is they've got a bunch of tanks out here, and they're going to simulate an attack. Now, obviously, it's going to be a lot of poetic license involved in this, and it won't be like tanks exploding on each other. But you're going to see them all here. And first contestant, it's a young Aquarius kid rolling out. I don't know if you can hear the guy who's actually talking through the big speakers. I might move down here because this young man's using a big camera that's got a microphone on it. I don't want to have him coming all this way to film stuff just to have some idiot from Australia chattering over the top of it. So, g'day everyone who's watching. Silent Sword, g'day buddy. Andrew, right. Good to see you, man. Hope things are well in the States. It says a 50 cal on the top of that thing. G'day all. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you're enjoying it. I've been hanging out the whole time. I've been here 3 days now and have not had a chance to get over here and really just watch the tanks go around. I've had a lot of events on at the Conservation Museum over there with wargaming. Been on the stage a couple of times yesterday and on Friday, and today I got up there with Victor, the head of wargaming. We played a bunch of games and we eventually got a win. 1 out of 4 we won. Meadsy was there, he saw it. Meadsy was a fantastic performance.
It was very entertaining.
Yeah, it was entertaining. Let's leave it at that. I was shithouse.
I recorded it also.
Meadsy recorded it also. If you want to see how crap I was, there you go. You can watch it. This is Bushka as well. There's a lot of people here. There was 10,000 came through yesterday, another 10,000 today. It's a proper big event. Yeah, Aaron Richards, what are you doing up in Queensland, dude? Man, you need to get to sleep. Oh, thank you very much for the donation, Golden Death. I'm doing very well. Thank you very much. Yeah, Meadsy and I have been hanging out, just chilling, and had a bite to eat before. Would you like to know what we had for lunch? Meadsy went the very British route of baked beans and cheese on top of chips. I had a chicken baguette with gherkins. What a time to be alive, guys. Live streaming that. Well, it's a lovely thing. Here we go. There's a proper tank coming soon. It's like a Challenger. Challenger 2, indeed. I know the tanks don't take me on a tank. You're going to zoom in on the Challenger with how expensive I take it. Obviously, the top shelf. Everyone else here has these monster cameras. Look at them. I feel like a pretender. That thing is a big ass machine and it moves quick. Testing. Good. That worked. Test. Good. Good stuff. What's this thing here? Oh, I could put like a dance party theme on it. Isn't that amazing? Dance party. Sketching. Oh wow. I didn't know you could do this. See that, Maisie? So look at this. I can change it so it's like dance party. Or look at this one. Look at this one. Sketch. Sepia. Let's just go to normal. Stop that. Stop that. Yeah, I've stopped it, guys. I've stopped it, guys. It's all right. Yeah, you are drunk. You're all drunk. Look at this thing. This is a pipeline tank. It lays a lot of. It's a plumber tank. There's a lot of PVC work. No, really, it's a recovery tank or a bridge tank or something. I don't know. It's a lovely tank. One of the best tanks there is. Is there a fire there? There was a fire here yesterday. It's a funny story. I'll tell you that. So, Wargaming gave us meal vouchers, right? For everyone that was here got a meal voucher. And of course, the only place that caught fire was the hamburger stand where we were getting our lunch. So there goes your meal voucher. Story time. This will put you to sleep. Anyone suffering from insomnia, tune in now. Quickie Baby did a meet and greet across the road, and he was in the conservation centre over there. He had lots of people queuing up for him. Meadsy and I were unaccustomed. No one tried to talk to us. We were pretty much free and easy, free and clear. Well, this is the man behind the screen. Look at him. What a fine figure of a human being. Bushka for scale. Bushka for scale. There you go. It's soft. What tank from yonder window breaks? Here's the tank with pipes on it. Yeah, boy! Maisie, there's 68 people watching. Did you make it 69? 68. Oh, we've sidestepped you straight over. Need more polish. Becomes a challenger too. The scale of the tanks is pretty crazy. When you're up close and personal and you start seeing how fast they move for a bit of armour that big. And the Challenger 2 is a very modern tank. It really does look spectacular compared to some of the vehicles that are over in the vehicle park over here. James. Yeah. How much is the Bushka burger van insured for? I made out like a bandit on the insurance money, mate. Box of matches and some Kero, and I'm going away a winner from Tankfest. Thanks for the donation, buddy. Hope you and Benny and Mary and everyone is well. When are you going to go see Rad Miller? I hear she's pining for you. Here comes a little tank. It looks like an SP1C, but it's definitely not. It's a lot more modern than that. This is the dropping the kids off at school, small family sedan. Off it goes. Lovely. The IS3 is not here this time out, which is disappointing because it was certainly a big draw card for me last year. I got a real thrill seeing this thing go past. Stalin's a bit under the weather, no joke. Here we go, there's another tank coming out. Well, let's be honest, it's not really a tank. It's more of a troop carrier, something along those lines. That's what you come here for, that really specific technical info that you can't get anywhere else. It's a vehicle, and it appears to be at Tankfest. That's right, we call it an APC here. Well done, Jazz King. I was just testing you all. That is an APC. Well done. It is loud. It's about to get a lot louder. There's a, that's why everyone's got the earbuds in, earplugs. I knew I'd get there eventually. They're going to fire the guns at some point. And there's no Jaegeroos here, mate. No. Did the Jaegeroo even exist? Was it just a drawing? I think that was just an experimental tank. Like my days at college, just finding out who I was, what I really wanted from the world. The Doom Turtle is a Doom Turtle Fort Knox, I believe. It's like 228s. Whoa! There you go. Code brown, code brown. I can feel that straight through the buttocks. Here come the bad guys. Watch out. It's like a T-72. There you go. Lots of action. Oh, dear me. They're running. People running now. Oh, this is the kind of commentary that's made me famous. Left foot, then right foot, and then left foot again. That's right. The familiar left foot, right foot action. They've chucked out some smokes. Microtransactions via smoke. Very fun. There is a smaller vehicle over here on fire. Obviously an inferior make. It's blowing a radiator. There's the APC. Rolling forward like a boss. Don't follow the AFL Chester Linkers. Your camera's the worst. Oh my God. You entitled grubs. I'm live streaming from the other side of the world in an area with no 4G. And you're upset because my camera is the worst. Just... What's the smoke? Jesus. Very cool. That's just like how I do it in PUBG. He's chucking smokes everywhere, this bloke at the APC. See if we can get closer here. Taking the thick, the action, so to speak. Get a good look at the APC. If that gun fires again while we're here, I might drop the iPhone. Attack from UN. G'day UN. How you doing, boys? So you're getting a special 8.5 foot elevation Camera shot here. Oh, he's chucked out another smoke ring. Pin goes behind him, littering. In the back of the APC. One of the guys stole all the loot there in the back of the APC right now. Saying, hey, I got the kill. Why didn't I get a pick up the M416? Mate's telling him he had a grazer. Grazer. Like that. Off to the safe side. Nice work. And here comes the challenge up, the big dog. Pretty cool, hey. And they forgot to loot the crate over here, so, you know, there's that. No, no waffle tractors in the museum, my friend. No waffles. There's Meaty. What a human. What an effing wonderful human. Comes the Challenger rolling back again. Hopefully he goes over the bumps in the middle, gets a little bit there. Oh, yeah, baby. Look at those camera angles. Oh, here he goes to put the Union Jack on the back. Let old glory fly. You can see down there. There's the driver. What a wonderful looking specimen of a human. Little head, hoping for better days. Yeah, he does, Charles, he does. Chester, sorry. They're all queuing up here. Nothing the Poms do better than queuing up. Comes the APC. Full complement of humans in the back. Little small, dropping the kids off at soccer. Family stand. Look at the size of the gun on the top of that thing. Ow. Many owls. Wow, look at this. This is nuts. Looks like a Mad Max Road Warrior. What a time to be alive. There is a FB4005 fully repaired and dusted up and shining and new and spanking on the gate as you drive in on the coach route. And there's one there's a Conway in the conservation area that's also been, it's awaiting work. Hijack the tank, yeah, no worries. Oh yeah, fly baby. Speed run. They do move very quickly. I don't know how this thing over here, which is the size of a small block of units, no joke. This thing, how does this move like this? It's almost unearthly. Something just make the hill that we're standing on start bouncing up and down. So the challenge to Go high off the top turnbuckle. They fire that gun from here. I give in. I surrender. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's a lot of turret traverse on that bad boy. You don't get that on those WW2 vehicles. And then he's taking off the... He's going to run up skull and crossbones and we're all in trouble. As he gets to take your wallet. The rest of the team has buggered off into the vehicle park for an early shandy. Oh, he's going to fire the gun again. I can't. The anxiety is killing me. Swiss Cheesel, how are you going, Swizzle? It's too late for you, sunshine. Get back to bed. I know it's at least 11 o'clock in Australia. Well, here comes the 72. Last year, they dropped the oil on the engine and just did a massive smoke out around here. And me and my God, we couldn't see 3 feet in front of our face. Very difficult to get, very low slow. There is a rusty tank in the, I think it is a T72 over there, or it might be a 55 with a schnorkel on it. Tell me, is it a 55 or a 72? 72. It's a 72? Yeah, there you go, that's right. Swiss Cheesel, you and your sarcastic ways. There's no lupuses in here, mate. Those are pretend made up tanks. Pretending, Swiss Cheesel, that's what you are. Go to bed. It's Sunday night at 11 p.m. Swiss. I reckon you've had half a dozen schooners at least. Maybe a dozen schooners. Tell me that you haven't. We're going to have a wander up here and I'll show you the vehicle park. And there's actually quite a few humans up here. More than a dozen schooners. Swiss Cheesel is hammered. Swizzle, you'd love this. I played on stage here at the Tankfest with Victor, none other than Victor, the owner of Wargaming. So now I'm definitely a shill for Wargaming. I've shaken the head of Wargaming. Oh, the wind is blowing. I'm now a wizard. I've summoned the wind. This is the vehicle park. No, I didn't forget the sunscreen this time, Ty. Look what I am sunscreened up. Rexo. I didn't get to drive or ride in a tank. I think Martin Dogger was going to go for a run in a Leopard at some point. I know Positive Waves was excited about that. You ready for a glamour shot? Like a dagger. That is true, Swiss. I agree. The new European line does look very interesting. I look very windswept and interesting. Yeah, the new Euro line looks really interesting. The Russian drum or the Italian drum autoloader looks really interesting. Rexo, thanks for the donation, by the way, amigo. I really appreciate it. So the key with the new Italian autoloader, right? The Progetto, I think it's called. Flag is at full mast, Swiss, and it will never descend. Just keep it paused on that big, bright red, chromed up head. Yeah. So the Progetto, basically, it's, I'm pretty sure I'm mispronouncing that, but who cares? Because I'm Australian, chest out Australia, is a drum autoloader. So what happens is you'll fire the first round in a clip and it will just reload that round regardless. I think, say, for instance, it takes 10 seconds. And then you can fire the second round instantly as well, but then that will take 12 seconds. So what happens is you can dump a lot of DPM really quickly, but then your reload is a god-awfully long time. And it will just keep reloading no matter how many you've shot that one particular shell. So you can kind of fire one shell and do back and forth like that until you get them down into a clip out situation. Then you dump all three at once. So it's a really interesting vehicle conceptually, and I'm looking forward to playing it. I'm not sure what they're doing with the rest of the lines, but I'm going to grill a few of the. I'm going to have a chat to Costa and the boys and girls later this afternoon and see if I can't find a little bit more out about the tech trees, because I think hopefully we're going to get a look at some of those Swedish TDs. I don't believe they'll implement siege mode, which is what makes the TDs so interesting on PC. The siege mode, which improves the dispersion amazingly and also increases the armor, but locks them in place. So you can't move the tank left or right. You can only traverse the gun. So I'll be very, very interested to see how that works. Like there's a tier 8 TD I ran in PC when I was a short-lived PC contributor for Australia. And that had 295 millimeters of AP pen on the tier 8. It was a monster. Apparently in real life, the STB1 also had a siege mode, which I was stunned to find out. But someone told me that yesterday, and I thought that was really, really cool. You can see just there, they brought the Matilda straight up to the starting gate, and behind it, there's a Stug. I think it could be a 3C or a 2B, something like that. I'm not certain. But all the tanks that you're going to see live here, they've put heart and soul into them. They look absolutely miraculous. And it very much rings true that it is a step back in time watching it. Right down to the fact that the cruise outfits and the Africa Corps kit that they've got on the guys that are running around at the back on the desert camo Stug or the Panzer 2B or whatever the hell it is. I mean, look, you're going to get a lot of big picture, broad strokes colouring in by me. But on the technical side of things, if it's not in World of Tanks Blitz, then I am going to struggle to give you any info whatsoever. But I'll just lie to you and see if you like it. See if you would just close your eyes and I'll do it twice. I wish they'd kick on with this Matilda. Is it experiencing engine difficulties there, matey? What do you think? There's more exploding bits to come. Swiss, you dickhead, there's no such thing as a Chrysler K in this vehicle park. Swiss has had like a dozen schooners. He's got on drunk and he's causing a ruckus. Is there a moderator here to moderate that moderator? Safosh was around yesterday at some point. I saw him chatting to someone. It's been an odd one because every other year I've been here, PC contributors have really had the lion's share of the stage time and the access. Blitz came right up this year. It really did. We were on the stage every bit as long as the PC guys. Victor got up on stage with probably one of the handsomest contributors the world's ever seen, who's also very athletically gifted and has a wonderful, wonderful way with words. That's a Bushka kid. And then Rolling Swarm was up there doing his best before that. And they had like a little station for Blitz where there was like 6 or 7 iPhones attached to a circular station, and everyone's just sitting there playing Blitz and doing things. And there was a meet and greet, which is kind of a wash because we were just hanging out with everyone all day anyway. But the point I'm making here is it certainly felt like we had every bit as much punching power as the guys from PC. PC didn't have the same amount of contributors that they normally have here. I saw Circumflex, I saw Safosh, but I don't know if he had his Wargaming, if he was here with Wargaming. Yeah, because last year there was like 12 or 15 PC contributors. And this year they've really, more than that actually, and this year they've really slowed that down. I didn't see a lot of people from World of Warships either, which they had here last year as well. So it was an interesting one. Blitz is really coming up in the world, boys and girls, like really coming up in the world. And we had a wonderful meeting. I don't know how much of that meeting are we allowed to talk about? Any of it? Okay, so you can ask me questions because we had a meeting and I've got to tell you, in that meeting, there was about 20 of us around a table with Ribble, and everyone just basically shat all over crates. from a great height. But we're also realists, and we understand that that's not really going to change anything. While people keep buying crates, and I did suggest that the only way it's going to stop is if, like, the EU legislates against it or something, is the only way it's going to stop, and then it'll be an even playing field, and all the gaming companies will have to go back and find some other way of performing microtransactions, which is what will happen. But that's exactly what was going on there. We also talked about balance. I had my usual massive bitch fest about the 183, moaned and whined, and I suggested that HE was too strong, and maybe we could do something to downgrade the amount of shitty HE spamming monster tanks at all the tiers, that the 252U and the Smasher and everything was unbalanced, and that possibly if we filled in on the margins, if we went and fiddled with the tanks that weren't being touched because they weren't very good, like the Panther and the like, and then maybe you could actually affect the game's meta because those tanks would be more valuable and they'd be more inherently playable, like STB1s and all that are great, but Type 61 just is a tumour on top of a tumour. So we did a lot of this stuff, and we talked about all this stuff, and it was really, really valuable. It was excellent feedback. Wargaming have also been trialling like a 215B that had the ability to heal itself and other players, and the overwhelming response from every single person there was that was a shit idea and let's not do that. And then I had this idea that maybe, and don't hate me guys if this does come into the game and you don't like it, but my idea was, if you've got adrenaline, right? Adrenaline increases your damage. What if you had an ability that you had to pick or choose whether you ran adrenaline or something else? You couldn't run them both together, where instead of doing damage, if instead of doing damage, that you could actually reduce damage. So, say instead of increasing your damage output by 30%, you reduce your damage output by a damage input. Like people can only hit you for 50% of what they normally hit you, but at the same time, you can't move. You only move at 50% of your normal speed, and your rate of fire is only 50%, or your alpha strike is only 50%. And that would possibly be something worth testing instead of testing healing on the tanks, which is just like a Mad Games thing. So that was something that got heard and put down. And if it comes in and you don't like it, I think Maisy probably suggested it. Swiss has been staring at the screen for 10 minutes, drunk, and he just realised that Matilda was moving.
So, why the attachments are so expensive?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
So this is,
yeah. Too many.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys can hear that, but they don't want to sell too many attachments. That's why the attachments cost 4,000 gold. It's got nothing to do with them trying to gouge money out. That's the point where they feel like they won't sell too many of them. What happens is the attachments actually cause enormous difficulty in rendering in the in-game graphics. So when everyone on the team has an attachment, it slows down a lot of devices tremendously. And that's why certain people were like saying, I'm feeling shit lag and stuff, is because the attachments slow things down. So they don't want you to actually, all the tanks to have attachments. So they could sell them and make a lot more money, but they would then have like a whole other problem of graphical render lag throughout the game, because every bastard's got an eagle attached to the top of his M48A1 pattern. So yeah, so the new attachments meta is everyone on your team gets an attachment, and then you drive in and cause them all just to freak out. Yeah, XR Rob, the thing is they don't need to remove them. They ran the numbers and they just found that they're really expensive, and if someone really wants an attachment, they can pay that premium. Otherwise, they don't want everyone to get an attachment, but they want the option to be there. And it's not affecting gameplay these days, and it's not a big deal. But this is also the reason we can't have marks of excellence, right? Because Wargaming know if they put marks of excellence in the game, everyone would get them, even if it was 4,000 gold. So if you've got everyone in tier 10 gets like a 60% win rate in their vehicle, they want to buy marks of excellence so people know that they're at 60%. Everyone would spend the money. Like it could cost $50 and people would still do it. And that would cause massive amounts of server lag. Bigger maps and bigger matches was a big thing. We talked about that. Hey, Measy, different game modes. What was the one that Skate was talking about? The console one?
Capture the flag.
Oh yeah, the capture the flag thing, like assault they called it, or rush or storm or something. The only problem with that is they generally need to make a completely new map. Reworking the maps doesn't seem to work, because when they've tried it before on console, the defending team won like 80 or 90% of the time. They're going to be looking at doing some more Mad Games themed stuff, like possibly a Mad Games tournament, so that you can just have a silver counting tournament, a silver random tournament kind of thing, but it's in a Mad Games thing. That was talked about, yeah, absolutely. HJ45 and it's okay. The problem isn't that the graphics aren't good enough. It's that the engine that the game is built on, and they talked specifically about this, is to change it so that you could do all these things would mean rebuilding an engine from ground up, from scratch, and it would cost so much money that in the end, all you get out of it is the ability to put more attachments on your tank, and yet you'd have to spend the whole budget for new tech tree lines and new tanks and developing new game modes and all that shit just so we could have marks of excellence. It's completely unworth it. Like, it was ridiculous. No, on PC, what they did was they made a HD client and a normal client. It's a different thing. It's not the same. It's not like just a different engine. It's this is doing it from the ground up. And it's also got a lot to do with why we still have ghost shells. So I talked about the fact that we've got a lot of, g'day Tony, how you doing, man? I talked about the fact that we have a lot of ghost shells in the game at the moment. One of the reasons why we have a lot of ghost shells at the moment is that there's bugs left over from when people were working on the client that are no longer there, like a long freaking time ago. And because the way the client is kind of a legacy client, so what I'm basically trying to say is that you've done stuff 3 years ago. What you're layering over the top of that engine now has to be over the top of that base, okay? So what you end up with is, if there's some shitty little bug that you can't get rid of without turning off the option to have supremacy in the game kind of thing, they get locked in, right? And that's why we're getting so many ghost shells, or why there's still ghost shells, are those things. They're trying to fix them, but it's really, really, really tough to do. Yeah, avatars and all that. We all said, like, we'd just rather have marks of excellence. And that, I'm just breaking down for you, like, literally we're in there for 2 hours and probably 20 minutes of it spent on that marks of excellence and attachment and shit. Swiss Cheese Allies Ghost Teams. Yes, Swiss, you are the funniest Swiss you've ever been today. You are absolutely the funniest Swiss. You believe that Matilda is AFK? Yes, he does look AFK, doesn't he? He hasn't moved for a while. There's a comet over there, guys, and there's another. The Challenger is back over here. Guys, if you look at the game, I don't disagree that you can't have textures and all that, but one of the things that, when we're talking about the game, we're saying, like, Fortnite looks like this, and PUBG looks like this and all that, and Ribble made a great point that they don't always look good, as opposed to Blitz has 14 vehicles in real-time 3D modeling at all times with camo and stuff, and you can run it with 4 times anti-aliasing at 120 frames a second. The client's pretty freaking good. The only thing I think that they're going to look to change in the future would be a full engine rebuild, but that's the only way it really changes up. Oh yes, Paynak. No, That is exactly right. That is the million dollar question, man. So they rebuild a client for super high-end graphics, and then 10% of the player base can use it. Yeah, Swiss, exactly. So that's what they were saying. Like, they can spend all this money on the client and rebuild it so that we can all have attachments, and then the only blokes that can use it are the guys with nice jobs in North America. Like, there's a whole massive part of the player base, especially in Russia, which is one of the biggest and most influential parts of the player base. They just don't have the same kind of client access. Like, they don't all have the same kind of devices. Yeah, Mahmood, I understand what you're saying. Like, they only have so many resources, and they have a checklist. What was it? What was number one on the checklist? New tank lines?
Yeah, new tank lines.
New tanks and new tech trees is the number one priority. They had a whole priority. Number two was something else. I can't remember. New game modes, maybe.
I don't think they've told us.
But because we talked about military honour, and they said they have been looking at a big way of punishing all the wankers that are going AFK and causing all kinds of issues. And they've got a whole lot of guys. There's just like a whole department that's just stat driven, and they can tell when people are being trolls, and they can tell when people are intentionally AFKing, and they've figured all this out. And they had a meeting just before Tankfest about this, and they're going to institute like an automatic, I don't know, if a punitive system about that. That's how I understood it. There could have been something lost in translation there, but they've been working on that. Military honour sucks. They understand that. They don't like it. But the problem is, we talked about the resource pool and what you change and what you don't change. And I said, like, people just don't worry about all this other crap. Just give them new tanks. Like, we like new tech trees. We like new tanks, like the European tree. And that means that that's where the resources are going, right? If they start frigging around with military honour, yeah, where was I? If they start frigging around with military honour, that's going to take away resources for new lines and new tanks and new game modes and all that kind of stuff. So military honour might suck balls, and it might do absolutely nothing, and they understand that. But do you really want people sitting there working on military honour as opposed to working on a new Tier 10 autoloader? Like, that's basically where it comes in. The player base that they poll and the feedback they get from you guys and me and everyone else is that we like tanks. We like new tanks. And if we have to choose between getting a new tank and getting a better thumbs up, yeah, we want them to work on the autoloader, exactly. So that's what they're doing. It was the best meeting we've ever had, really, honest to God. Yeah, silent sort, exactly. I think everyone kind of understands that. But they did point out that they've devoted a little finger, yeah, they're working on the AFK stuff, and they're working on the trolls particularly. I don't think there's ever enough tanks, little finger. I'm sorry, dude. I really want the tanks. Yeah, did I get affected by the fire? F yeah. So we got meal vouchers. I said this earlier in the stream. We had meal vouchers, right? The only place that got set on fire yesterday was the place that was serving me and Meadsy freaking hamburgers. Yeah, like this guy right here, and this guy right here. We lost our right to free burgers because some wanker set his own tent on fire for the insurance money. If you're watching this, well, I don't believe you did that. Okay. Yeah, Cricky Baby was in the conservation area. Look at that AFK Matilda. He needs to be kicked. Get him out of the game. Yeah. I don't know what it was. I was joking. I don't know what it was. Bushka conspiracies. Where's Martin and Skate? Skate's gone home. He had a fight with Meadsy. They were in the car park last night, pissed. Skate said something about Meadsy's new logo, how it looked like someone eating a bag of phalluses. And then Meadsy headbutted him. Skate tackled him, and then security had to be called, and he went home this morning without talking to anyone. Well, I hope that spreads. That's that. Yes, what's in the new Euro line? I'd like to know. Do you know what's in the new Euro line? We're asking, but we don't know. That's a comment. Hello. Look, Mum, I'm on TV. My mum still doesn't know what I do for a living. Honest to God, she asks me still. What do you do? Do you make games? No, Mum. Well, do you talk to the game making? Do they go for the games to make with you? Mum, no, that's not what I do. I can't. Set her up. Oh, you can see what's coming now, can't you, boys and girls? Two T3485s over there, followed by the Sherman from Fury, the M4 from Fury. I think there's an M4A1 at the back. I think that's a Panzer III. If I could drive in one tank that's here, it'd be the Panther, man. Hey, Amanette, how you doing?
Still alive, but I'm melting.
Do you need sunscreen? You got? Okay. Yeah, I did. That's right. I did. I've got some more. There's a Challenger. Matilda is still AFK. She's chilling. Just chilling. Not going anywhere fast. I like big buckets that I cannot lie. Some other brothers can deny. The Panther is not working, no. The one tank that is working that I would want to drive in before any of the others is the Tiger 131 that's in the Tiger room, the exhibition room. That does work, and they bring it out for Tiger Day once a year. My goodness gracious me. But the Panther that is working is somewhere over there. There is a Panther that's working that's the French Panther. There's a bunch of French flags and stuff on it. Somewhere over there. Over there somewhere. Does that one drive?
I think it did, yeah.
That one?
The Panther, yes. I'd like to drive in that. That's what I'd like to drive in. Yeah, I did a lot of chat yesterday during that meeting about, hey, instead of going crazy about new premium tanks and shit like that, how about you just look at the tanks that you've got in the tech trees, because they're talking about putting new consumables in, right, to make certain tanks more amenable to be driven. So that people will drive some of these tanks that aren't being driven at the moment because the consumables make them more exciting. And I'm like, why don't you just take tanks that people aren't driving and actually fix them so that they can compete? Like, you're not trying to drive a Panther, for instance, or a freaking toaster around and stuff. Yeah, but they're going to change the consumables so they have more of the consumables that you see on the British TDs, like the FV4005. Yeah, the Charioteer. We also put forth the idea that maybe they should just ask us first because, ball sack. Whoa, code brown. Oh my God, that's so loud. Oh, far out. Oh, shit balls. That was loud. I wasn't afraid. Meadsy was holding my hand. Here's the Panther. Speak of the devil, here she blows. I'd get in that thing. That's the one I'd like to be driven in the most. I cannot believe that tank there is from the same time period as that T-3485 over there. That thing looks like the ugly duckling. This thing is like a space station. What an incredible vehicle. Of course, in our game, that tank there gets shat all over by that tank there. I mean, no, a tier 7 Panther would probably beat the T-3485, but you get the idea. Like, pound for pound, they're just not quite as competitive. No, the mouse isn't a real tank that just hangs out with all the other tanks, guys. Panther 1 for me. Panther 1. We also talked about the fact that if they're talking about buffing a tank earlier, they maybe just could tell the community so that the community will start grinding up a line if they're really keen. Like if they're going to be buffing the E50M, then maybe let the community know like a month out so that they can start grinding the E50M.
All about changing the meta with another one, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
They want to change the meta every so often.
Yeah, they want to keep the meta changing and keep it a bit fluid so that it stays interesting and more tanks become relevant across a greater period of time. Yeah, I talk specifically with regard to tanks like the Tiger 1 and the Tiger 2. Like the Tiger 1, to make it competitive, they've turned it into a medium tank. Like it's 50 kilometers an hour, nearly 50 degrees of traverse or something, or 45 degrees of traverse. I forget now. I think it's 48. Like it's got high DPM and everything. It's nothing like, yeah, but it's nothing like what people expect it to be. And so you get new players that roll along and try and grind the Tiger 1 line first. I say, Ariel, you want me to say hello to Alexandra Matush? I will. I've been talking to Alexandra quite a bit. She's Alexandra and I have been on stage a couple of times here, as well as at Tankfest. We've been on stage a couple of times as well. Still washing the glitter out of my eyelids, out of my eyebrows. Oh, speaking of Alexander, hello, Alex.
Hey guys.
Hey mate, how you going? Look at that Panther. That is a sexy looking tank. Yeah, the Bulldog's a good tank. It's hard to play though, I'll give you that. Are you going to see the Panther drive past in just a second? Very cool. Team Trouble says hello, Meadsy. Team Trouble. Hello, he says. Beautiful tank. Yeah, Swizzle, I agree. No worries, Team Trouble. Baroo. Now, the 3485s and the M4s have been hanging out with the wang out over here at the starters gate. What I want you to take note of here is when these guys go past, the attention to detail on the tanks, everything from the uniforms of the drivers to the paraphernalia and ropes and the small arms on the side of the vehicles is authentic. They've done an incredible job with it. They've even got like wooden boxes on the back with with ammo and stuff in their native language and all that written on it. It's just, they look glorious. Sabri Samat says hi, Meadsy.
Who?
Sabri Samat.
Oh yeah, he's like, I know him.
Yeah, there you go. I know. Look, we don't know, guys. Just, there you go. So have a look at the paint job and everything on these. Like the work they put in is just incredible. Here's a T3485. Look at the canvas, the tracks to the side of the turret, the canvas to the back of the turret. The other 3485 is going around the other side of the arena. There is the Fury from Sherman, the M4 from Fury from Sherman. There is the Pit from Brad and his fine buttocks. There is the Sherman M4 from Fury. Now you're going to see 3 different M4s come out. Have a look at the chassis on them all, and you can see, I believe, is there a Firefly in there? But have a look at the one-piece cast hulls versus the welded side panels. And you can see some of them from the very, very early parts of the war with the fully cast hull. And then the Americans actually developed a way of casting the hulls, apparently, that was still very, very effective, even more effective than the welding, which made it quite easy to mass produce them. Wondering if Bobo could source one. What do you want? T10 would be nice to see. So they're all rolling in just a second. 3485s are passing over here, having a little kiss, exchanging pleasantries, saying, "Da da, Comrade Stalin, you're the best. Get in the queue for bread. Off we go." And then they've taken off. We're going to see the second of the 3485s go past us in just a second. Here it comes. So you can see there is the wooden log on the side, the logo, the insignia. Look at the tracks above the drive wheels, panniers on the back. You can see the small arms, the Russian small arms, the helmet on the side of the turret. And look at the outfits of the drivers. They do not muck around. Honest to God, do such an incredible job with it. And at one point in time, this is like a tank that's basically changed. These kind of tanks changed the course of history. It's pretty phenomenal. Oh, and he's fired one over our heads, just giving us a warning. Piss off back to the conservation area. You're taking up all the bandwidth. Don't think I'm mucking around. Oh, hang on, he's on fire. Typical Russian tank. Smoking on the job. Loves a bit of role play. Oh, I dress up as Poland every Tuesday night and Swiss invades me. It's amazing. And over here, there's a Panther that's fired. We're role playing here, we're pretending. They did once last year, Mike and Fiero. Here comes the Sherman from the new Fury. All those big raw burrowing cutters in the back. Fly havoc and let loose the dogs of war. See, that's a one-piece Shaggy, whereas I think that's a Firefly. Yeah, you can see how that's welded, flat sides. Here comes Chess. I think this is a Panzer 3, 3H or 3C. The Fury from Sherman. That's right. Look at this thing. This thing has been lovingly restored and just looks fantastic. And I know I've said this probably a dozen times in the past day during live streams and such, but the difference in the quality of the tanks, the German tanks compared to the Russians and even the Brits and the Americans from WW2, the difference in the quality and the build and the workmanship, it's pretty spectacular. They did not muck around. If they're going to do something, they tend to do it very, very well. Oh, I like the Biss, my favourite Life 5 tank. No, the TOG can't move. So I was talking to someone yesterday, and the way they move the TOG is they get if you were watching the stream earlier, there's that one piece past hull on the Havoc, right there, on the Havoc. So what they do with the TOG is they quite literally get one of those huge tank recovery vehicles, and they just drag the TOG across the concrete and smash the crap out of it because it's so big and it's such an old tank that's just massive. They can't move it. Everything's just seized up. They can't do anything with it. Yeah, the Firefly looks amazing. Oh, the Panthers had a whoopsie again. It's fired off a round. Can't keep its hand off it. every minute of the day. Hang on, Havoc's turned. Very casual, the bloke on top. Seem to think that there's a panther hidden over here, guys, in case you're wondering. I'll up the ante so you can possibly see it. Let's see if you can get an eyeball on that. See the panther? That's it over there smoking. It's on a break. He's gone out the back to have a durry. There we go. Oh, hello. Look who turned up for dinner. There's the Fury. And I think Wolf Dog, who's here at the moment, actually worked on the movie Fury. That's an impressive looking dunk. Here come the German tanks. Check this out. I've got to tell you, these look hot as hell. Swiss cheese on pivot. Pivot street legal. Panther 3. That thing looks amazing. I think this is like a 2B or a 2C or something like that. And then the heads up. Heads are gonna heads, baby. Heads are gonna heads. And here comes the clown car. Staff vehicle is up for a schnapps in the Alpine. Oh, hello. Here's Benny Hill driving the motorcycle track. That's a weird looking vehicle, isn't it? Oh. That mate Fury's after that motorbike. Hang on, buddy. There's the motorbike like it's still on the wallet. A bit cold for the strug. I got that Swiss. Oh, hello. There's a disagreement over who's paying for lunch. Wargaming or me? Report the Fury. Absolutely. Tell you what, that Panther hasn't moved since the start of the game. Has not moved.
No, but I think they're grateful when they get it in around the arena and back.
Yeah,
so
yeah. A lot of these tanks, guys, have broken down in the past few days. This is Trina 1 that broke down yesterday and then broke down again today. Failure to launch. Last year it was a Jag Panther that is over there at the moment that kept breaking down. They are old vehicles, like really old vehicles. We're talking like 70 years old tanks that they've lovingly restored here. Tommy Hunter, where is the 131? I don't know where the 131 is, mate. It's only comes out for Tiger Day. They do Tiger Day once a year. So I did a live stream from the museum the first day we were here before everyone turned up. And the 131, the Jag Tiger, the Tiger 2 with the P turret, the Porsche turret. I thought it was the Porsche turret, but apparently it's just an experimental turret. And the original and the best King Tiger kind of thing is still in there, and they don't bring it out for any of those 4 tanks. The Jag Tiger is F-off massive. It is a big-ass tank. The Tortoise is also the crazy one. The Tortoise is like any 2 of these tanks put together at the front. They are ridiculously wide, and it's like 8.5, 9 foot tall. Like, it's huge. This tree is what we're looking at the moment. A lot of action going on. This tree is a lovely tree. One of the greatest trees to ever grace the Tank Museum. 2 ads on a Blitz bid. I'm rolling in the Swizzle. I'm rolling, baby. Mo money, Maseratis and blow. Maseratis and blow. That's all we've got going on over here in Bovington. Bloody tree. Who put that there? Oh, hello, T3485. Nice to see you too. There's a friendly Russian. Igor Ivanovich. Right there. Showing me the back door. Alex 7, that's a great question. Why can't we send presents in Blitz from player to player? I agree. It's interesting because the same thing happens in a few other games that I play. They just don't allow it. I think, yeah, I know. I think it's because it would cost them money if people got stuff that they didn't need and they just gave it to someone else that needed it. They'd rather the person that needed it pay for it. I believe that's an honest look at the question. Yeah, the system was only in play for a very, very short period of time. The gifting system. And we do it. Every night, every day, every hour, everywhere we do it. All the tanks are lining up now. Queuing. I'm getting quite tired, guys. It's been over an hour of doing this. I think that's the end of it, isn't it? And so ends another fantastic presentation of Wee Little World War II tanks from Tankfest. There's Bob in the front tank, famous for his strudel and his love of champion duck swims. There's Fred and Vic, the second tank, love a drink. French lawnmower TD is not yet. No, he's not here. There's Sheila Boot in the back of the Fury. Couple of 3485 boys. Way to go, gentlemen. Way to go. White stripes. I head out tomorrow afternoon at about this time on the Big Bird to Australia. So I'm basically here for 3 days and 3.5 days in the UK. And it takes me like 3.5 days to fly from Australia back. It's a really good ratio of time spent to time in the air. I'm going to start it. Go. Thank you, Swiss Cheezel. That guy's got to feel like, seriously, guys, why can't I drive in the big tank? Why do I have to ride around in this freaking clown bike? When do I get to? Not now, Ken. Next year. Next year, Ken, you can have a go in the big boy tank. If you behave. Not promising anything, Ken. Ken's being a dickhead. He's going like that to drive the tank again. Tell Ken that we can always find someone to drive the clown bike. We go to 3485s over to the vehicle part. I didn't see the M60. There's an M60 and M103. They're all rolling around over there, but I didn't see them come out. I don't know if it's just because I was mucking around in the conservation area on stage when they came out, or they just didn't come out at all. Well, there's some little tanks coming. Still, some little tanks. How to get M60? Jokester, you got to be loyal, mate. If you weren't loyal, you don't get an M60. Have you been loyal? Do a sick burnout. Great looking tank. Heads are gonna heads, baby. Yeah, boy. There's a poor bastard driving that little bike, doing deliveries all over the Burma. Like, I mean, really, I hope he enjoys that bike. But like, look at this thing behind him. That's exciting. They get all the girls. Cruising the main drags of Minsk. Va-va-voom. Drop the clutch, baby. Drop that clutch. Burn it out. Do a sick burnout. It does look a little like a 32, doesn't it? Here comes the Panther. The Panther doesn't stay in the vehicle park with all the other kids. It is far too cool. It stays just in front of the Conservation Museum over there, the Conservation Hangar, which is where I've been spending most of my time. On stage light, I've got a pole over there. I've been doing a lot of pole work. It's been very exciting. A couple of big spreadies, upside down vertical spreadies, that kind of thing. A couple of hello boys. It's just like, please, can we get the Panther off the field without it breaking down, please? The onward Swiss, why have they got tracks on a bike? Can't you just put some wheels on it? Come on, Panther, you can do it. You can do it, man. This street called Struggle That Engine, mate. See you, Team Trouble. Thank you very much for watching. Thanks everyone who's watched the stream. Thanks everyone who's donated. No, he's coming back. This is like Tiananmen Square all over, the bloke in the yellow jacket. Stop it. Stop it. He's just got a shopping bag in each hand. I'm not leaving till I get my hamburger from Wargaming. Stop. Too soon, Chris. Oh, XR Rob, don't get me wrong. Like, if you want to give me the track bike, I'll take it. No doubt. Yes, Chris, you're right. I should steer clear of all things controversial and Chinese. That's it. I think, oh, there's some little tanks over here still coming out. We've got like an original Maddie. You can see with the Vickers machine gun. And then there is, I think it's a Valentine behind it. Can't see from behind that blue tent there. Something else is rolling up on the Western Front. Yeah, we all had a massive cringe about the WZ120 FT, by the way. I did in particular. It's pretty much, they set the kitchen on fire so they don't have to cook any more burgers for us. I reckon Wargaming planned it. They ran out of burger cards. They were worried there was going to be a revolt. The doorstop of doom. G'day, Boss Lorenz. G'day in the Philippines. Angry, hungry Australians doing angry, hungry Australian things. Here's my head. How about it? How pink do I look? Because I could be sunburned. It's very sunny up there. There's no T28s. I have to keep answering the same question. There's no T28s. The T28 is not here. There is a tank that is like a, I don't know if it's a Like, it's not a, looks like a T28, but it's not a T28. Bronco, how you going, mate? What do you think? How about it, Bronc? You send the package. How do you feel about it now? Like, are you willing to get on the big plane, get in the big bird and fly over to Sydney? Get on the red eye? What do you think, Bronc? How about it, big man? Turning it around now so I don't get any more of that shit from the Canadian. What's under the camo? It's a good question. Don't know. Let's play a game. Let's play a game. It's probably a Russian tank. It's kind of like a T-72 or a T-55 or something, I'd say. See you, Alex 7. Have a good one, man. You look like a pack of salmon wanting shiny surface. I'm going to be, it's a WZ blade. Swiss cheese or your grub. Oh, we're 76 minutes in, guys. I'm starting to fade. I'm very, very, very tired. What do we do? Do we pull the pin on this, or are we going to watch the Valentine and that roll out? There's something else over there, like could be a Cromwell. I don't know. Medium. One, the pussycat. This Matilda's still here, man. It's just AFK. Live stream the flight back. Yeah, totally, mate. This freak's still AFK. Just leave the cam with Medzi. Let him take over. Put the cans on Medzi's head and say, hey, Medzi, do your best. Bushka's off for a snooze. We talked about that earlier. If Medzi did a pitch invasion, just went racing across, pulling his gear off his wen as he went, showing off the gear, as you say in the UK, his big gear, like a baby's arm holding an apple as he goes running across the middle of the arena, doing the helicopter. Oh, hello. Why, go, Delilah. Japanese tank, Japanese line coming. I don't know why it's ironic. Like, my ancestors come from the UK. It's not really that tough to figure out. My favourite tank is the Comet. The Comet. My favourite tank here to look at is the Panther. Big, strong Aussie, that's right. Tear it apart. This is a little Japanese tier 1 screaming around the edge. Did anyone see that thing where the guy would say he's going to take the day off and play the 131, the Tiger 131? Some other clown says, huh, that's not a Tiger 131. That's a Kuro Moro Mene. I won't watch Girls on the Panzer, Boss Lawrence. I will never watch that. There's no toaster here. There is no toaster here. No worries, Swiss. Peace, mate. No bathtubs here either. No French bathtubs. I'm getting burnt here, guys. I'm getting burnt. I need to go and apply my sun cream again. Does it really have 15 degrees of gun depression? No, because the game makes some shit up. They're out now. They're out. They're out of their tank. They're just like, I don't even care. Yeah, Rexo, I know. It's also got 6 millimeters less armor or something. There is a cent 7-1 here. In fact, there's a couple of cents here, and there's a Centurion one that was rolling out yesterday and today that got broke down both times. Broken down at both times. It rubs the lotion on its skin. I am getting very, very tired. They've just got out now. They've had enough. This game's not working. We camped here all game, and they never turned up. We're leaving. The Reds are still in their spawn. My God. They don't have a bulldog, I think. They've got a chaffee. There might be a bulldog actually in the restoration area. No, it's not a bulldog. I think it's. I'll have a look. They've just gone. They're downvote, military honour. No thumbs up for those guys. They've just left. Thank you very much, Bronco. I'm actually going to go put some sun cream on. I got to get some sun cream on. It's not unusual to be loved by. Oh, there's shade here. There's shade. Oh, shade. Oh, shade. Oh, I'm falling down the hill. I can't get there. Oh. There goes the tank. Well done, that. Here you go, Meadsy. Hold that for me. I got to put some sun cream on.
For you, maybe.
You can film it. Alex, you want some of this too? So, no worries, man. No worries. I got the good stuff. Everyone on the street wants what I got.
That sounds dirty.
It is. Sun's out, guns out. Thanks, mate. This has got to be a highlight for everyone, right?
Yeah.
How exciting was that? Surely you'd be going mad now. That's like standard attention.
They're going crazy, mate.
Chat's going mad. I like them big. I like them creamy. Hey, fellas, how you going? Doing well. I just live streamed me putting sun cream on. It was the best response I've had all day. Big pink Australians doing their best. Oh, there we go. Those shorts. You don't like my shorts? What's wrong with these shorts? These shorts are awesome. These are the best shorts. Okanuis, man. Okanuis. They're the best shorts. What are you laughing about? All of you need to get some taste. Taste is in your ass. These are the best shorts. Turn this around. No one could ever spot me in these shorts. They are camo shorts. They're called Okanuis. You can get them. Actually, a couple of mates of mine do the importation, exportation in Australia. They run the franchise. Go online. Okanui. Okanui. The Bushka Okanui camo. That's a great idea. Here we go. This is a very exciting tank. Big Frank in the front there with the mustache. Won the mustache off in the vehicle conservation area earlier. Has the right to take all women home with that mustache. I don't know what that one's called. You tell me. What's that called, guys? Tell me. I don't know what it's called. Unless it's a tank that I've driven in a game, I have no idea. It's called an armoured car. Well, narrows it down, doesn't it, Sunshine? Come on, you can do better than that. Night, Swiss Cheese. Have a good snooze. Thanks for staying up. Thanks for drinking 15 beers before you did it too. You were hilarious. T7 combat car. Is that it? I don't think that's it. That's not it. It's going very fast. Yes, the Matilda will waltz Dino Satay. Whoa. All right, boys and girls, I'm going to call that a wrap. That is 86 minutes of non-stop action and adventure here at Tankfest. And that's going to be my last live stream, I think, from Tankfest. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. Hope you enjoyed yourself. We've done a bunch of live streams here. We've had a really good weekend. There was a few things that were extra special, but I'll talk about that more when we get back home. So, yeah, until next time, look after yourselves all and stay safe on the battlefield. Bye for now. Au revoir.